Hey everybody, this is Barney Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun, where we just hang out and talk about things that are happening, talk about the weather, where we're from, and yeah, whatever crochet news is in your life. Feel free to post. I keep hitting the table here. Make sure that you are logged in to your Google or YouTube account so that your comments will appear. um, so welcome everybody. Let me just jump in. I just want to say hey to everybody. Alana, thank you for waiting so patiently. She says she's trying to keep cool. Yeah, I've been doing the same here. And Miss Wanda Gordon, we're gonna have to get together, Wanda. Let's see. Thank you for, thinking of everybody and being in the chat today. And Cynthia from damp but steamy Illinois, and Brad's mom. Hey, Linda, so glad to have you in the chat. From Southwest Chicago suburbs in Margita and Heather. Hello. Yeah, so glad you could be here for the live. And Rosie King from all the way from Lincolnshire, UK, and Angie and Donna and Tammy from Oregon, and Tracy from Houston, Texas. Going to be heading to Texas in about 6 weeks or so, Tracy. And Denise and Jojo and Phil. Good to have you back, Phil. I hope things are going well with your crochet channel and everything. Please email me. I want to hear how things are going with you. And if there's anything I can do to help, please just reach out and let me know. And Shelly from Glendon, and Jan and Sandra. My goodness, Marlene, and Patty. I'm going to try to stay a little caught up with this today because I honestly don't have a huge agenda for you, but let me just dive in to some of the notes I have here. If those of you who aren't signed up for the Bonnie Bay Crochet newsletter, please consider signing up. It's free. I don't send them out every day. I'm trying to do it like weekly now. So the newsletters are going to have a lot of the notes from the things that we talk about here. So if you don't want to have to try to hunt for things, they will be in the newsletter as much as possible. And you can just go to bonniebay.com, and there is a link in the video description. You can sign up. You may have to, some people have said they've had a hard time getting to that. There is a new cookies statement that will appear on the brand new website. And that is there because of federal and international regulations requiring that. So you just need to make sure that your cookies, if you understand all that, how you get your information is the way you want it. So that gives you a chance to set it. And then once you do that, then you can go to my website. It's just kind of a legal clarification. So I hope that doesn't put too many of you all off. And just for the record, for the newsletter, I do not share my people list with anybody. I treasure my privacy as I know you do yours, especially in this day and age. So just to let you know, I don't sell my list to anybody. And believe me, people would love to have my list. I don't give it to anybody. I don't sell it to anybody for any reasons, charitable or otherwise. So just to let you know, you're not going to have a bunch of people bugging you if you sign up for this newsletter. Just wanted to, be very, very clear about that. Okay. Hey, Sandra, it's good to have you. And Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. And Marlene from Central Florida. Um, and let's see, Patty from Montreal, Quebec. Wow. I got to go to Quebec one time for my first anniversary in 1989. It was wonderful. We drove up from Boston when we were living there. Things have probably changed a lot since then, Patty. Remember going to Montreal, and then we drove over to uh, to your capital and got to see a lot of beautiful things there. Anyway, let's see. Denise, it's good to see you in the chat. And Beach Girl, she says 88 with real feel of 93, but I think 105 in the sun. Yeah, yeah, it can be really hot. Um, yeah, I don't actually. It's kind of funny. I have this fun little car to drive that I bought a couple years ago, my little Miata, and I love driving it. It's a 6 speed. And so if you guys see this little red car in the parking lot in Lancaster, please come talk to me, okay? If you're at the conference coming up soon. which let me go ahead and talk about that. This next Thursday, I will be packing the car, what I can get in there, and driving to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The conference actually starts on Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, but I don't have to start teaching there till Thursday evening. So I've just delayed my travel plans to not get there until Thursday afternoon so I can check in and then start teaching on Thursday. Friday, I will be teaching a class. And then Friday afternoon is going to be free for me. So if you're available, and please send me an email, bonniebay@me.com, and let me know if you are in Lancaster. Maybe we can get a group together and do lunch or dinner or something. I mean, well, I don't know. I should preface that. Um, I don't know. We might be able to do something Friday. So definitely bonniebay@me.com. If you're in Lancaster for the conference, let me know. And if we can get a group together, we can do something fun. Um, or to even just hang out in the lobby together and crochet and talk. That would be a huge blessing to me, especially after traveling and everything. Saturday is looking very full with two classes. So I'll be teaching 6 hours during the day and trying to snatch a lunch in between. So that's probably going to be a busy day for me. Um, but definitely check out the classes that are still available. I do have some seats available. The I Love Crochet Cables class is filling up. It's getting full. So, but there are still a couple seats left if anybody is interested in those. Um, so yeah, reach out to me if that's something you're interested in. And if you don't want to take classes, don't have the finances, that I understand, but do try to check out the market and just hanging out with a lot of like-minded people. You can probably do that. I think the tickets are a very nominal fee, like maybe $5 or less. I don't even know for sure, but it's very nominal if there even is a fee to get into the market. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about the other things going on in August, which is, gosh, right around the corner. I can't believe today is the 28th. But the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival, which is also called the Knit and Crochet Festival, but they have much more than that. Um, that is coming up August 25th through and 26th. That's when I'll be there. But 24th through the 26th, lots of classes available. Still have seats available, I think. Um, and I'll be teaching 4 classes there: beginning knitting for crocheters, I Love Crochet Cables, fun crochet fabric, and big and bold cables. So, check that out. There are going to be a lot of other teachers there as well. Um, and then in September, mid-September, September 14th through the 17th, I'm hoping to be in uh, Irving, Texas for the DFW Fiber Fest, which is near Dallas, Fort Worth area. And I'll be teaching again. Love crochet cables, big and bold cables. Two new classes: tassels, fringe, and other knotty trims. It's going to be a really fun class to learn how to add different other like non-crochet trims. Which I'm a fringe girl. I love fringe, but we're gonna learn how to do that, how to tie them in knots in many different ways. And I'm also teaching a taking great photos of your crochet class. And I've always been an amateur photographer, just for a long time. And I love photography, and I think I can help you if you're looking to learn how to take better pictures for your social media or even just for your family albums. You don't have to just take pictures of crochet. It could be of anything really. But the principles we're going to learn are going to be very basic, but they're going to apply across the board to anything. Um, oh, thank you, Jeannie. That's a great question. Jeannie wants to know, who makes the price for the classes in Lancaster, and when do you get to Pittsburgh? Um, those prices are determined by the conference, not by the teachers, Jeannie. So just to let you know. And honestly, why there's such a big price difference, I'm going to stay out of that one because I really don't know. It may have something to do with overhead cost of the way Interweave operates. That might have something to do with it. But I understand that there is a little bit of a difference there. In Pittsburgh, as far as the administration goes, it's more of a privately owned. It's not a corporation so much as it's it's one person owns that, and her name is Laura, and she does the lion's share of the work. She's an extraordinary administrator. Um, and I think she has a very small staff. So that is one reason why they are able to keep the cost down. And I think also whenever conferences are held in places that are I don't want to say more desirable, but some places are just more expensive than others, and it could just be that the cost of everything in Lancaster is just higher than it would be outside of Pittsburgh. I mean, I like both places. Pittsburgh is great. I have children living there, so but anyway, we can talk more in Pittsburgh if you want. I can share some other things with you as well. So what am I do? What have I done this week? Okay, so this week I've been just really busy getting ready for the upcoming travel. That's what the picture is on the thumbnail, is of the crochet things that I have packed. I've got a soft bag of crochet things, a bin of books and supplies, and I've just got to add a clothes bags to that and my guitar, and then I'll be all set and ready to go. And also spent a lot of time this week doing some organizing at the house here. Hannah, you're going to be shocked when you come home. Things hopefully are looking a little bit better, especially in the studio areas. So I've kind of commandeered 2 rooms of my house, not just one. This room here where I broadcast from, and I store a lot of things, but then I have another room I've taken over now, and have moved my secondary recording studio that I use for the up close portion of the videos. I moved that downstairs into another room with softer, quieter curtains, and I love it. So, been busy this week. Okay, Tammy wants to know if I have any plans to crochet toys or animals. That's a great question, Tammy. That is not something that I find myself to be particularly gifted in. I have made some. Let me show you one. I made this when I think I was about 10 years old. It was a kit. It was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I made Goldilocks, and the hair is a little messed up because she also was a toy for my girls when my children were growing up. She could probably use a bath, but it's just kind of an old treasure I have in my collection here. I never got to I did get to the Three Bears, and I didn't like even then I was persnickety about my designs. I didn't like the way that the pattern was written for the bears. So I stopped making them. I just thought it was a poorly written pattern. But anyway, so that's, and I've done a few other toys and things using other people's patterns to give as gifts for babies, but I don't have any plans right now to do that. However, with 2 grandsons on the way, we are officially on baby watch now. That plan could change. So please stay tuned, and I'll let you know if I decide to create a toy or something for a baby. You guys will be the first to know because I'll probably be showing it to you here. But my daughter Becky is officially 3 weeks out from her due date and doing well. So she's at home now. She stopped working early this week. I hope you don't mind me telling people that, Becky. She may join us later today. I don't know if she'll have time, but oh, okay. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I'm gonna show Jeannie. I'm gonna show you the blanket in just a second. But let me go ahead and just see. Um, let me see, who else do we have in the chat today? Oh, we have Marlene from Central Florida. Hey, that's my home state. And Patty, okay, Patty from Montreal, yeah, and Hannah and Sandra, Denise, okay, Beach Girl. Okay, now I know where I am, guys. I'm just trying to find my bearings again because I was just a little bit chatty. All right. Okay, everybody wants to see the blanket. Well, let me go ahead and show it to you. I feel since I want my cookies to be peanut butter. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I wish you could just push the button on the computer and you get a cookie. That would be great. And oh, hey, Kathy and Dora Lise. It's good to see you in the chat. And Sandra. Yeah, okay. Here is the blanket that is coming coming on Monday. I already released it earlier this morning on the watch channel with the complimentary pattern. I folded it in half, but it's much wider. And I'm going to show you the yarn in just a second. I'm calling this Bonnie's Starburst throw. It's an easy repeat pattern. Even though I categorized it as an intermediate design on Lovecrafts, I think this is a very beginner friendly project. I just didn't put beginner because I thought, oh, if someone's a brand new beginner and tries this, they're going to hate me. So technically it's an intermediate project, but I always have a higher hopes than most publishers do for crocheters, because I know crocheters are a lot smarter than they know crocheters to be. So anyway, that's my pet peeve. In case you haven't picked up on it, is that for years I searched for challenging cables and patterns like that as a young crocheter and couldn't find anything. It was just boring, boring, boring. So that's how I got into publications. So anyway, my little spiel. But here is here is the bottom. Let me show you the bottom of this. This is the part that I showed. I'm going to be showing on the thumbnail. Okay, so you can really make this blanket, wider if you want, but it's a pretty good width to share for two people, and it's, I believe, 64 inches long. So you can really make it as long as you want just by repeating the pattern. I'm going to show you the yarn that I use. Well, let me go ahead and show you that now. I used these 4 colors. Of course, you can use whatever colors you want. Get the other one here. Of the paint box yarns. Each of these 201 yards. The sale is not on at the moment, but if you just keep a lookout, Paintbox has these on sale off and on. So you have to just kind of watch. Last week they were at a very deep discount. They're back to kind of normal price unless you buy a big packet of them now. So and I get these from lovecrafts.com. And so that's what I used. If you don't use this particular brand, not a problem with me, because I don't, no one's paying me to sell their yarn. I just like to show you the yarn that I like, because I find that there are very few, if any, knots in this. I've gone through hundreds of these now, and I can still count on maybe one hand how many knots I found. I mean, it's that few, and I really like the quality control with this, and it produces a really nice throw. But anyway, you need about 800 yards. If you want to duplicate what I did with this one, you need about 800 yards of 4 different colors, and that's it. If you don't want to do that, if you want to use this as a stash buster, you can just get all the extra Aran weight yarn or worsted weight yarn from your stash, put it together, organize, line it up in the color order, and all you need is enough yarn to go back and forth, okay, or 2 rows to produce this starburst, okay? This could also be a good candidate for those of you who are into temperature blankets. I've never made one myself, but I know people like to do that. Maybe just do 2 rows of whatever the temperature average is for the week, or however you decide you want to do that. And it makes for a very interesting, somewhat random result. Okay, so that is Bonnie's Starburst Throw. And those of you who may be interested, let me go ahead and put this back. It's not going to look as nice. Okay, there we go. Those of you interested in the watch channel, I mentioned there is a link for that in the video description below. And with that particular site, it is spam free, ad free, no commercials ever on these. This is just so that you can watch uninterrupted. And whenever I release new projects like this, you can download the written pattern complimentary. There's no extra charge for that, because that's included in the monthly fee, which is $6.95 a month or $69.50 for the year, which is an added discount. So, and those of you who are my subscribers, thank you so much for taking a chance on me. And if you don't wanna do a whole year, you can just do 1 month, 6.95, and try it out, and if you don't like it, you can just say bye. I do have 2 new things. I finally the one was on there, let me start again. I added 2 classes that are easier to find now. There was one class which was hard to find unless you knew what you were looking for, and I apologize for that. I thought it was easier than that. Went in, earlier this week and did some reorganization and made the designing my own triangular scarf or shawl class. It's a 3 video series, and there's also a PDF where you can download for class notes and instructions and kind of worksheet to go with that. You can find it's easier to find now. And I added another class that I've been talking about for a long time, which is how to design your own texturized poncho or stole. There is some overlapping information as far as the inspiration part of the instruction, but that is also a 3-part series with a downloadable worksheet so that you can, try your hand at designing. I mean, if you don't mind making mistakes and doing a little bit of ripping or maybe a lot of ripping here and there, but I kind of let you into my mind and how to try to explain how I come up with some of these designs and what the process is. It's not magical. It's kind of trial and error. It involves hard work at times. It involves some frustration, but it also has a fantastic reward when you complete something. And that's something I would love for everybody to be able to share. And I know those classes aren't for everybody, but it also gives you a feel for kind of how I teach when I go to conferences. Although when you go to in-person conferences, there's a different dynamic involved with a lot of people around, and I mean, there is definitely an advantage, to going to a conference and getting immediate feedback instead of, emailing back and forth, through technology. But if you're not able to travel, to check out some of these classes. And I am going to try, once things settle down with the travel season, try to add more things like this for my watch subscribers so that you can um, not not miss out, because maybe I know a lot of people can't travel just for physical reasons, financial reasons. That was me for many, many years with raising small children and caring for my mom in the home, which we did for a long time. I'm in a little bit of a different season now, kind of straddling 2 seasons, but but I anyway, all I have to say, I understand that. I just wanted to make this available for those who are not able to travel. You should not have to miss out. I wanna make sure that you don't. Okay, and Jan wants to know if there's a kit for the purple blanket. No, Jan, there is not. I tried asking a while back, not on this one, but on another project, if Lovecrafts would kit it for me, make it into a kit, and for whatever reasons, they were not able to do that. But you can. I will say that you need 4 balls of each of the colors of each of these colors, and I did write them in the video description below. I Because sometimes they're known by names or by numbers, but rather than go through all the numbers here, just look in a video description. The names and the numbers for these are written down, and I used 4 of each of these to finish the throw. Okay, Phil wants to know, would you ever make a queen size blanket using Pima cotton number 4 weight yarn? Um, hmm. That's a good question, Phil. I personally probably would not, because I think trying to wash that would kill my washer machine. I have a front loader. I guess if you wanted to make one like that, you could take it to a laundromat where they have the super duty gargantuan washer, but I'm just not a fan of going to public laundromats. I did that a lot as a kid growing up. Um, so I would be afraid that, there might be some leftover smell from something that somebody else washed and it would infect the work. But that's just my opinion. I mean, if you want to try hand washing something like that, or just not bother washing it for a long, long time? I guess you could. I think it would make for a very heavy blanket, um, maybe more difficult to care for than anyway, than you would want. Um, all right, let me get back to saying hey to you guys. Okay, so we have Joni, hey Joni, and Diane and Gail from Alaska. Oh my goodness. I hope you're cool in Alaska at least, Gail, because the rest of us down here, the lower 48 are kind of sweating it out lately. Um, in Irlanda, it's so good to have you. And Jeannie, again, thank you for being here. I can't wait to catch up with you, see how everybody's doing. Um, and Oh, thank you, Jeannie. I'm so glad you like that cable class. We try to cover a lot of ground quickly. So I think this year when I teach my classes, I'm going to try to taper their expectations and just say, you don't have to do everything perfectly in this class, and promise you, you won't. But we do cover a lot of ground because I always feel very conscientious that I want to give my students as much value as I can for their investment. Sometimes I overdo it and I try to go cover too much. So I'll just have to make that really clear to folks. Um, and Kelly Hart, so glad that you can join us from Tucson, Arizona. And again, Hannah, thank you for all that you're doing. Yay, Jeannie. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Pittsburgh, girl. And thank you, Wanda, for praying for Hannah. She's got finals this week. So if you guys can think of Hannah, she's got I won't get into it too much, but she's got a very challenging professor that, yeah, we signed up late. We signed her up for classes on the late end, so we didn't get the primo professors. But anyway, by God's grace, I know God can work through that, and I think He is. So, oh, Jan, early happy birthday. She says, I was thinking about taking these classes. I should have been saving my pennies to come see you. Jan, even if you don't sign up for a class, if you're in the area, by all means, contact me. We can still get together, okay? Um, and Jeannie wants to know when I'll be getting to Pittsburgh. Well, let me look at my calendar real quick, Jeannie, because I wrote that in here. Okay, I'll probably be getting in on the 24th, August 24th sometime, because I have a beginning knitting class early in the morning, and I'll need to be raring to go for that. So, uh, sometime on the 24th of August, Jeannie. Um, oh, Tammy. Okay, yeah, I got your question. Yeah, I think because Hannah sent it to me. Thank you. Um, Yeah, and Jan, just to tell you, the first time I went to a Crochet Guild of America conference, which was way back in 2011, it was on a hope and a prayer, um, because I didn't have money for the hotel. So I was staying an hour away with some or about 45 minutes away from the hotel with relatives outside of Greensboro. So I didn't take classes the first time I went either. I just went to experience the conference. And I recommend that for folks too, especially if, finances are a little bit tight. I totally get that. And one of the main motivations for me for really wanting to work hard to get to the point of teaching was so that I could go to the conferences, even if I wouldn't have to pay the total expense because I would get some help from the conference people. So that is one of the thing that you are helping to contribute to as well with the with the fee. Is It's not just money for the instructor. I mean, it does help to pay conference cost, feeding the instructors, transportation, um, housing, and they don't necessarily even cover 100% of the hotel. Like an interweave, I'm paying half of my hotel fee. So I mean, it's not even total all my fees covered, but it is helpful just to have some of that for me personally. Um, but just to let you know, you can do other things if you really want to try to get to places like that. And again, look for conferences or look for something near where you live. There, you might be surprised there might be something right in your backyard. years ago. I had no idea that the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival even existed, and it's one of the largest in the nation, and it's 40 minutes away from me. So whenever I'm in town, if I'm in town that weekend, it's always the first weekend in May. And if you guys are ever near Maryland, first weekend in May is the Sheep and Wool Festival. I don't teach there, but it's probably the largest collection of vendors for yarn that I have ever seen. I know Winebeck in New York is supposed to be even bigger, but I mean, Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival is so huge. It's exhausting. There's so many things to see there. All right, Hannah sent me a question from L. Crandall. Have you personally used the Halo yarn cakes? They are beautiful, but I am worried the fuzziness will ball up. Um, let me let me look that up real quick to see what you might be talking about. I'm not even sure. Okay, the Caron. Um, yes, let me show you. I had to look that up to see what you meant. There are so many different yarns and manufacturers out there. I did use that on a whim when I went to Joann's and I saw this yarn and it feels delicious. I mean, it just is lovely. And I did use this. And the jury is still out as far as how this is going to hold up with a lot of use. But this actually seems I bet this would do well. I mean, for depending on what you want to use it for, but I it just my guess is that it will hold up fairly well. Now, whether it, balls up or whatever, I've had yarn that was fuzzy that was starting to deteriorate as it was coming off the skein and as I was crocheting it up, if you know what I mean, and if you've ever experienced that. This yarn seemed to be a lot tougher. It seemed to be a lot better than that. So my guess, again, it's a guess, and nobody's paying me to say, no yarn company has ever or will ever pay me to say good or bad things about them. I just give my own opinion just to let you know. I'm not a hired hand by a big corporation. I'm just little old me. So it's little old my opinion. But I think I would use this yarn again. I really did enjoy the feel of it. It worked out really, really, really nice. Um, okay, and Michael Jenkins would like to hear about the poncho behind me. Okay, let me go ahead and give you a better view. Um, this is the Inishmann Poncho. You can unbutton the button to just have the collar lay flat, or you can wear it like this. This will be coming this will be coming soon. I can't give a date. Did I give a date before? Let me check my calendar again. Okay. Okay, I do have this scheduled for um August 14th. Okay. So I am hoping to release the Inishman Poncho August 14th. Once I get the edited pattern, I have written the pattern, edited it, sent it off to my tech editor. So as soon as I get her feedback and any needed changes from her on that, then it's going up on the watch channel. So it'll be on the watch channel sooner. I'm going to try to get it there very soon. Um, but yeah, August 14th, look for it about then. Okay. I used, where did I, trying to think. Okay, hold on a second. I do have the yarn. Okay. I had to go grab the remnants of what I used so I can give you this information. I think I used 10 of these. And it's like reading a fortune cookie. I used Barocco Vintage. This is a worsted weight yarn. It's 52% acrylic, 40% wool, 8% nylon, You can machine wash. It says machine wash inside out, gentle cycle, lay flat to dry. Yeah, always lay flat to dry. Each of the hanks, I've of course balled it up with my ball winder. This is 218 yards. So if you need 10 of those, so that's about 2,180 yards of whichever worsted weight yarn you want to use. Um, I've used Barocco Vintage DK. I've used a lot of their yarns, very stable, reputable, long-standing company. This product's been around forever. It's just it's just a really great staple to choose from. Um, Lots of colors to choose from. They have a really big what we call color palette. So yeah, so that one. Thank you for asking about that one. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, Michael. All right. So and yeah, so I'm hoping to put the updated pattern on the website again as soon as I get it back. All right. Oh, thank you, Heather. Heather says she just subscribed to the newsletter and love it. Yeah, I try to put some little personal things in there. I'm trying to add some little tidbits to make it interesting. I wish I could give you guys a coupon for my patterns, but Lovecrafts doesn't have that option just yet. But but we'll see. I might be able to get a pattern. I mean, I'm looking into what I can do, little perks and things that I can give you guys. I know that when one of these projects came out, I had it free for a while, and I just printed the um, the pattern into the newsletter at one point. So so we'll see. I mean, I want to put little fun things in there, and yeah, like little tidbits. I put a picture of my impatiens, apparently the deer, after they finished all the plums on our plum tree, they found my impatiens on the far corner of the house, and they have managed to trim them down quite nicely for me. They left me the ones in the front of my house where I walk in, which I'm thankful. So, and I reapplied all the garlic and stuff to them to see if, that'll try to keep them away. The other day, I have to tell you, I was driving. I went down my street and made a right turn onto one of these country roads that I have to go on. And there is a doe that goes through our yard a lot. And she has a set of twin fawns that are with her. And I was driving down the road and I saw the fawn on one side and the I'm sorry, the doe on one side and two fawns on the other side of the street. So I came to a halt and let the because they were looking at her and otherwise they would have gone out right in front of me. So I didn't want to hit the fawns, and I certainly didn't want to hurt the car. So then I was thankful that the guy that was barreling down behind me also slowed down. So, that was like just right near my house. So I was just like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, they come and they are grazing freely. Um, but it is what it is, I've done what I can. Oh, thank you, Archer and Ace. Thank you for your donation. I need to start a new round. On my list here. Let me go ahead and add that in. Thank you for contributing. And um, so the next donation is going to be for the Rancho 3M in Mexico. And if you want to look that up, it's rancho3m.com. And it's right there in Guadalupe. It's a Christian camp and school. I'm sorry, let me try that again. It's a Christian school and it's an orphanage. And it's a wonderful place. Becky and I have been there um, years ago, helping on the compound with a church group. So it's a really great place. They're really doing a wonderful work. Kelly Hart wants to know, can you crochet a blanket with 5.3 ounces of 100% acrylic yarn? Depends on how small you want this blanket to be, Kelly. Most blankets are probably going to require more yarn than that, but just depending on the design, if there are a lot of holes in the blanket, I mean, like if it's like a double crochet, chain one, skip a stitch, double crochet, a very open stitch work, you might be able to get, a small baby blanket from that. But it really depends on the pattern you use. Most of the time, I like to have more yarn than that, and also need to know what the yardage is. The yardage amount helps a lot. I'd say, 700, 800 yards might make a nice small blanket, but I know this probably don't have quite that much in 5.3 ounces. That's my guess. I think it's, yeah, 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 okay. Um, all right. Oh, we have Love to Craft in this chat. Hey there. And Jan uh and Kelly is making a she says, "My dragon is turning out really adorable, but I have crocheted it tight by going under the V stitches." Yeah, send us a picture, Kelly. I would love to see what you're working on. And oh, hold on a second. I just had a lot of things load. Okay, hold on a second, guys. I'm using a different platform here, so it gets a little confusing. Okay, so I answered that question. Jan says, "Hi, Bonnie. Come to Illinois and organize my house." Ugh, I don't know if you want me to organize your house, Jan. I might get distracted by the fun things that I find and forget that that's what I'm there to do. I want to say hi to Moon Rose Craft and Sharon from Wisconsin. Oh, I'm glad you like the tutorials, Sharon. I appreciate that. And Jan's correcting the words. Yeah, it's so funny. I sent something. If you guys signed up for, I have to tell you, this is kind of, I felt kind of dumb. Well, it was involving technology. I was sending out the worksheets to the students who signed up for my classes in Lancaster. And I sent them out yesterday morning, and it took 3 tries to get it with the attachment. I promise you, I attached that the second time, and as soon as I hit go, it dropped off. I don't know where it went, and I was like, "What?" So anyway, I had to do it 3 times, so I get to look, I get this wonderful extreme dose of humility for in front of my largest class before we even meet. So, hey, computers have a way of really embarrassing me. But anyway, um, ooh, Jan says she'd like to make the throw in greens. I think that would be delightful. Oh, I would love one in shades of green. And oh, thank you, Heather. I'm so glad. Thank you for supporting. She says I really love the watch channel too. So worth the cost. Thank you. I try to do that. I try to make sure that, the value of the PDF download of the new designs that are being released. It may not work out every month that we release 2 patterns, but that's my overall goal, is just to give you more value, with just the complementary patterns than what you would pay if you were, buying them outright. That's kind of my goal. I just want to make it worth your while. And certainly, let me just say too, the 2 classes that were added both times when I've taught those, the prices were $125 for the class. No, actually, no, that's not true. The poncho class was the 6-hour class, and that cost of that class was over $250 when I taught it in person in Colorado. And the scarf class, it's kind of taught as a 6-hour class, which allows for time. And there's not 6 hours worth of video footage, I promise you. But that class allowed for times for thinking, for writing things out, for doing the homework there. But both classes cost over $250 to take in person because they were full day classes. They were 6-hour classes. And again, I don't set the prices, that's set by the conference organizers. But the class, I will be teaching the condensed version, the 3-hour version of the designing your own scarf in Lancaster. So looking forward to that. And to let you know, if you're interested in that, that's probably my smallest attended class so far, which is actually good because that means I can give a lot of personal attention to those who do come. So, and since it's of a design, creating your own design, there's going to be a lot of individual math, and where we can go back and forth, and I can, try to do the best I can in helping folks try to accomplish what they want to do. So Thank you, Wanda, for praying for Becky and Christy. I so appreciate that. And thank you, Tammy. Just says congratulations on the new bundles of joy that are on the way. Yeah, it'll be my first time being a grandma, so that'll be really fun. I don't know how to do that quite yet, but might have to get some advice from you ladies. Um, yeah, Jan says, doesn't that just drive you crazy? Badly written patterns. Yeah, it can. I'm a little hesitant to to fuss too much about that because I am not beyond making mistakes myself. I have made mistakes even with tech editing. So yeah, it's easy to make mistakes, but I try to hiring editors to try to make that not happen with you guys. But if it ever does, you just reach out to me and I will fix things as fast as I can. Man, I don't make that a common thing. I try not to. I mean, it's a lot on the line. And another reason why I like to do the videos, because with the videos, there's no doubt what I'm doing. I mean, and I try to do the best I can in combining the two. I don't always have the number counts and everything exact when I'm video recording this, but I do try to, that's the added benefit of having the written pattern is you have a lot more information. But the videos will show you exactly what is happening, which I think it helps to clarify. You're doing something in 3 dimensions, and a written page is kind of even with a stitch diagram, which a lot of times doesn't help with cables, in my opinion. Um, you're looking at a one-dimensional thing and trying to explain something that's three-dimensional. I think that's just um, the beauty of the beauty of a video, because it's another way to learn, and it engages the brain in a different way. Okay, thank you for the note, Hannah. You're doing well, Hannah. Thank you so much for keeping us safe here, girl. Um, I'm gonna keep going. And again, I'll just make my little statement. If I miss your comment, it's not intentional. I'm doing the best I can and just trying to get things in here. And I'm looking at all your comments, Kelly. Um, I hope things work out for your family there. Well, let me go ahead and show you something. Keep this moving. I'm going to show you my progress. I am working with a project with a friend. This is not a paid endorsement. This is one friend to another. Um, Emily's Yarn Lamb Shop Kits, and this is her website. It's also in the video description below. Her and her husband are now doing their own hand-dyed yarns, and they are pretty amazing. This one is sport weight, 100% baby alpaca. And oh my goodness, it's so soft. Very soft, very, very drapey. And I'm going to show you my progress on that baby blanket. This is another project that'll be coming to the channel um, very soon, as soon as I finish it and get it written. It's similar to one that I did for Care on Yarns many, many, many years ago, but I made significant modifications to it. This is big hearts, little hearts, and it might be a little hard to see that but you see the little hearts on one side, lots of popcorn, and then I finished the big heart a couple days ago. So we have big hearts. This is actually going to be the center motif of the baby blanket. And then you're going to have little hearts and big hearts, and hopefully a really fun, elegant border going around this. So I'm just stay tuned for big hearts, little hearts, which will be coming as soon as I'm able to get her done. So, oh, thank you, Hannah. It looks like Hannah says that Jeannie's a watch subscriber. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. Again, I don't like to pressure anybody into anything because I know things are tight. Did you know that postage went up? I guess about a month ago. It's now 66 cents per stamp. Whoa. I found that out. Not complaining because I still think it's a deal. I really do. For what they do, and I'm not gonna bash the post office in any way because I still find this the best deal, and I really have had a lot of good success with them, and that's how I mail things out. And to let you know, if you're ever looking for, like, one of my books, I do have them up in my Etsy store. I'm gonna be taking them down probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week just because I'm gonna be traveling and not gonna be able to respond. Because if you don't respond on the Etsy site like this, you kinda get dinged by them, and I don't wanna get dinged, and I don't wanna disappoint anybody who's expecting a book, quite frankly. I wanna be, good on the customer service. So, but if you're looking for books like this, I do sign them, and if you want me to personalize it for a friend or something for a special gift, I'm happy to do that. Just you can, tell me. Most of these do ship at my expense. So if you see that they're maybe a dollar or two more than maybe on Amazon, it's because I'm covering shipping. I don't get a special deal on shipping. I'm just a regular folk like you. So if you're looking for these, I do have some still in still available, just to let you know. And that's how I know that shipping has gone up, is because I'm paying more to get these out to people. But happy to do that. Um, so anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. And Kelly wants to know about the newsletter. The newsletter, you can look at the video description below, or you can go to Bonnie Bay at me.com, which is my web, or just go to my website, bonnieb@me.com, or Bonnie Bay Crochet at, no, wait a minute, try that again. BonnieBay.com or BonnieBayCrochet.com. Either of those will get you there, and it'll be the home page, and you're going to have to accept cookies or adjust your cookies to your preferences. And then once you do that, it'll say at the bottom of that first page about signing up for a newsletter, and that'll take you to a form where you can fill out your email and so forth, information there. And then you'll be on the docket to get the next one that I send out. I'm hoping to send that out on Tuesday. I'm making that my goal date to send these newsletters. That may or may not always happen, but that's at least my goal. All right, so let me see what we got going here. I just want to see if there's anybody new. Oh, Sharon Sweet from Wisconsin. Okay, I saw that already. Yay. Thank you, Sharon. I'm trying to get recalibrated here. um, and yeah, I've talked about to Jan about organizing her house. Yeah, what we know would be fun to do is, for is to have friends over to say, "You help me organize mine, and I'll help you organize yours." Because a lot of times our friends have different ideas than we would come up with on our own. You know what I mean? It's kind of like going shopping with a friend. They see things at the store that we don't see that would look good on us. And we see things that, well, this you should try this because I think you look good in this. You know what I mean? Just kind of two heads are better than one. Um, mindset. Yeah, that would be so much fun. And just to get decor ideas and, someone just to say, "Do you really need this?" And, kind of let's get rid of it. That would be great. Uh, and so good to have you in the chat, Margita and Carlene. Yeah, Carlene. And oh wow, Jan had a commercial pop-up, really. I did not schedule any of those, Jan. I don't know where that's coming from. That's weird. Um, okay, someone's asking me, okay, galore yarn cakes. Um, hmm, okay. I think we talked about that. Okay. Uh, and Gail says it's been warm and humid in her area of Alaska with smoke from wildfires. It's not been great. Yeah, that comes and goes here too, but last week or so has been clear finally. Um, and thank you again, Michelle, about the comment. I might have said Michael, but Michelle, thank you for the comment about the poncho. Okay, yeah, and the halo cakes. Okay, I'm looking through. Yeah. We talked about that. And thank you, Sandra, for praying for Hannah for her finals. Yeah. Uh, And Elk Randall says, "Don't know how galore came out." Yeah, I have typed in things and uh, autocorrect will change it going out the doors to something completely irrelevant and different from what I was trying to say. That has happened so many times. It's really comical. We should write a like a funny book about that. But uh, and Anna was telling Phil, I made a large cotton blanket. The washing machine has no problem with it, but I cannot vouch for the specific yarn you mentioned. I used triple strands of a sock weight. Yeah, Anna, that's going to be much lighter. That's probably much more reasonable. I have made the Bonnie's Bonbon blanket. It's not a queen size, but it's 100% cotton, but it's a DK, a very light DK weight yarn. And very when I constructed the little squares that I put together, it was very lacy because whenever you're working with lace, it's a lot less fabric. But you could maybe if it's a lacy kind of a design, but if it's an Aran Celtic cable, super chunk kind of effect. In fact, I made a sweater, an Aran sweater or jumper, as they would say in the UK. And I made it out of a worsted weight yarn. I mean, this thing, I am not kidding. When I finished it, it weighed more than 10 pounds, and that was dry. So I cannot imagine even just washing that sweater in my washer machine. But maybe Phil, if you go to a lighter yarn, maybe even a sport weight or even a DK weight or even a blend, like a cotton acrylic blend. There are a lot of nice, even a cotton acrylic blend that's a worsted weight would save you a lot of weight. And I think of water absorption in the washing process. So that might be something. All right, I am getting ready to finish up here, but I just want to make sure I've said hey to as many people as I can. And again, Terry, thank you so much. Archer Nace, I will see you in Pittsburgh, girl. Looking forward to that. Um, New friends, old friends. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. And oh, thank you, Heather, for your sweet comment. And Jeannie wants to know if I use Hobby Lobby yarn. Yes, ma'am. I made the Granny Square vest out of the I Love This Cotton yarn. We just don't have a Hobby Lobby in my area. That's the problem. I have to go to South Carolina when I'm staying with Mrs. B, and to go to Hobby Lobby then. And even then, when I'm down there, it's a 45-minute drive away. So it's well, every craft store is about a 45-minute drive away when I'm down there. But I like Hobby Lobby. I love their yarn, excellent quality. I just don't live near them, and it's just been easier for me since I discovered paint box yarns. Crochet O'Clock's Stephanie Sheldon is the one that got me hooked on these, and I'm forever grateful because I just like working with them. I like just ordering it online too. When I'm making a larger project, because whenever you go to a yarn store, it's really, really hard to find enough skeins of the same dye lot to make a project, if you know what I mean. I have, yeah, and I've made the mistake of mixing in other dye lots just because they were close enough, and then do the digital photography, and it just absolutely stood out like a sore thumb. So it's just easier for me to just order them all together and have them ship the boxes, because I mean I'm looking at two full boxes of this on the floor right here for future project. It's just so much easier than having to chase down yarn that matches. But yeah, Hobby Lobby yarns is great. I love looking at their decor. Just walking through their store is really nice. And I will say, I will put a plug in for them. I love the fact that, as you may know, it's a Christian owned and operated organization. And that doesn't mean that it's perfect. Okay, I'll be the first to say that. I mean, just because it's Christian anything, I mean, we're humans that are in need of grace, just like anybody. That doesn't mean it's perfect, but I love that the fact that they close the store on Sunday, they pay their employees a higher wage than usual from what I understand. And whenever I've been in there, they've been very friendly to talk to, and they almost seem like they like their jobs, which has not always been the case in some of the other stores in the area. And I've worked for Michael, so I have some stories that are going to stay inside my head because I still support them where I can, but not my favorite. Not my favorite. Just for other reasons. But I'm not out to get them or anything. I just I yeah, I love some of the people that work there. It's just I've been one of those peoples, so I have a different inside view of what can go wrong. Um, but again, it's living in a fallen world. That's just what you're going to get. All right, I chatted too much here. Oh, Beth, so good to have you, Beth H. Hope we can. Oh, thank you for cheering up, Kelly. That is so sweet of you. Um, and Phil had a comment about my plants, and then it jumped up as soon as I was about to read it. Okay, got a lot more comments here. I'm gonna have to look through these guys after we get off. But and guys, thank you so much, Grace and others. Thank you um, for praying for Hannah for her upcoming exams. Oh, we got a lot more comments, guys. Oh, Luella. Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you in the chat. I just saw your name. So glad that you could be here. So wish we could do a crochet guild conference this year. I so miss seeing all my guild friends. Um, all right, and Phil's comment, here it is. He says, "Isn't it funny how we plant all these things for our enjoyment, but Mother Nature's creatures have other ideas?" Oh yeah, yeah. But they didn't really have. They just didn't do well this year. So I need to maybe spend more time working on them. I waited too long to put out my Miracle Grow that I use for fertilizer on them. But yeah, next year is always another year. We can give it another go. Patty Wilcox wants to know, I'm enjoying doing mosaic overlay. Any chance of you making a pattern doing overlay? Um, Not anytime soon, Patty. I see a lot of those beautiful things online, and just figure, everybody has their little niche that they thrive on, and that's just not mine currently. I probably will forever be embedded in cabling. But I do like to do a lot of new things. So I don't have any plans currently. I'll just say that, but I do see that out there, and it's really beautiful. Unfortunately, or fortunately, God only gave me two hands, so I think, like I've said before, I'm going to have to live to be at least 300. I think I'm going to push that to 400 years old now, in order just to get my current idea list fleshed out. But I enjoy that, and please send me photos. I'd love to see your work in these other things. Um, okay, Hannah sent me a question. Is there another way to pay for the watch channel if someone doesn't have a credit card? Um, I can talk to Vimeo and find out, but I don't think there is currently, unfortunately. Contact me, and but we might be able to work something out, okay? If you contact me, bonniebay@me.com, maybe we can do a check exchange or something like that if you want to try that. I would be happy to work something out on a personal level to do that if you want to do that. Um, okay, so please contact me. I don't know that they do PayPal either. So I'm not really sure. I'd have to do some investigating and find that out. But I understand, it's a crazy world we live in, and credit cards are getting compromised a lot. I totally, respect your position on that. Okay, and the cotton yarn that I used, I don't have it. Do I have it right here? Let me look. No, I don't. Um, the cotton yarn that I used for it depends on what you're using, but there's a really nice soft cotton. It's a worsted weight. It's available at Hobby Lobby. You can go to Hobby Lobby's website. It's called I Love This Cotton. It has a lot of different beautiful colors. You can make, soft clothing out of it. You can make, dishcloths, whatever. It's a little different. It's a lot softer than the kind that comes like this, like the peaches and cream. It's a lot softer than this, and I found that it was easier on my hands. In fact, I do have a sample or two. Here is a sample, but it's just much, much softer than the peaches and cream stuff. And it's 100% cotton. It should hold up just as well as a dishcloth. So, yeah. So if you want to look at, yeah, just go to hobbylobby.com and just look up I love this cotton and it should come up for you. Okay. And let me just do a quick perusal here. Hey, D Louise, so good to see you. And Amal, um, and Carlene Roberts, and yeah, and Gina, and and Grace from Northwest Washington State. Again, thanks for praying for her. And Elizabeth, do I have a video for the blouse I have on? I do. Um, Let me look that up for you. Give me a second. I do. If I go to playlist, you know what? I'm going to put a playlist in the chat. It's in the playlist under summer crochet. Actually, let me just give you this. Needle. Oh, you got it for her. Yeah, it's Bonnie Summer Shell. Okay, thank you, Hannah. I'm just going to put it in here again. Okay. Um, but thank you, Hannah. You're so far ahead of me, girl. Um, and oh, thank you guys. You're so sweet. And thank you, Wanda. Yeah, I really enjoyed making this one. I should make some more. I've got some extra cotton yarn. I probably should just use it up on this. And let's see. Yeah, and Denise says, yeah, postage is expensive. Yeah, it is. But it's a lot more expensive if you go through FedEx or UPS. It's especially when you're mailing boxes, it's a lot more. And Carlene wants to know, do I still collaborate with the South African Yarn Company? Haven't heard anything from them in a while. Um, I still have some yarn in my stash. I just haven't made anything from them in a while. I can think the pandemic just kind of stressed things out, on on yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'm still friends with her. I see their yarn every so often. It's called Good Loops yarn. It comes from South Africa, made of some is bamboo, some is cotton, and that's the Bonnie's Bonbon blanket I made using their yarn. I mean, yeah, I still, and all those links should be still up and good on the sites on the projects that I've made. There are several in the list that I looked up just a second ago. Yeah, I just have been more focused on other things and always learning about new types of yarn and stuff. So yeah, I definitely still in touch with both of those gals. Um, yeah, I just mailed a couple boxes the other day, and it was like $30 to get 2 packages mailed out. It's like the stuff inside the box wasn't really worth much more than what I paid for shipping, but it was a joy to send them off. Okay, Camille wants to see the purple blanket again. Sure thing. So I know people come on and I have it folded in half. Let me go ahead and so this is Bonnie's Starburst blanket. Let me just give another view of that. It's coming on Monday. It's already up on the Watch channel. All right. Okay. I do have something I want to read to you all. It's a little more fun. She says, "I love this the short tie caplet you have on. Is there a pattern?" Yeah, the short tie. Yeah, this is a top. If you can even see. Yeah, this is a yeah, a top. And yeah, it's nice. It's 100% cotton. It's a thicker cotton too. So, but anyway, and yeah. Okay. And Dewey Louise says, headed to Texas next week to meet my seventh grandchild. Wow. Catherine, born 6/29, taking her blanket with me. Oh, how wonderful. I wish you a wonderful trip, Dee. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be one of those traveling grandmas too, because I live more than 800 miles or so from where both of these children are going to be born. So I may have to wait till after my travel season is over, like mid-September, or I might be able to squeeze a trip in um, early September to Georgia. Then then to Dallas and then to Georgia again. I don't know how that's going to work out, but like I said, I'm on baby watch and we're just waiting to see. All right. Oh, we have okay Ingrid in the chat, and and okay. Well, Phil, so I'm thinking of making barrister bookcases to store yarn in. That sounds cool. Send me a picture if you do, Phil. That sounds really cool. Beth says autocorrect is a demon. I think you're right. Or it has some issues for sure. Um, yeah, Gina says 100% cotton. Okay, looks like autocorrect did a number on that sentence there. She's I can only handle cotton and silk and polyester. All other yarns causes muscle spasms. Yeah, yeah, I get that. The friction in the yarn can definitely do that. Okay, and from Beach Girl, hey, if I use a paint box 5 weight, will it make a huge difference? And how would I end needing less? Um, Honestly, I've used the paint box size 5. It's not as thick as as I kind of had. I wanted a thicker yarn for a project, and I used the number 5 yarn. I used that for the Christmas tree skirt, the Aran cabled Christmas tree skirt. It's not on the YouTube channel, but it is on the Watch channel. There's some things that I keep as exclusive to the Watch channel or through pattern purchase, but I did use the number 5 yarn and it worked out great for what I used it for, but I was surprised that it wasn't thicker. So that said, I think you should be fine. If you've got a bunch of that number 5 stuff for a throw, it's not that much thicker than the worsted weight. So definitely enjoy using that. Yeah. And that's the thing is, each of these numbering systems has a range. Oh boy. Um, and Michelle wants to know, do you have different yarns suggestions included for poncho? I get hives from wool. I would just use acrylic, 100% acrylic. I mean, I think the paint box yarn would work fine for the poncho behind me. Um, it would certainly reduce your cost a little bit. Um, yeah, anything really for that. Even if it had a little bit of bamboo or or silk or anything like that, because when you're working up a poncho, you can use the alpacas and things like that because it's a drapier yarn. Because with the poncho, it's just worn to drape. You're not looking to for it to be fitted like you would for a top. So yeah, really any number 4 substitute that you prefer, Michelle, should work for you. Gina says, "Oh wow, sorry. AFK means stay away from keyboard." Maybe your computer is telling you something. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay, and El Crandall's asking about Ice brand yarn from Turkey, super cheap, so not sure about the quality. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be afraid of something from Turkey because just about everything is manufactured in Turkey. This one's manufactured. Most factories for a lot of this yarn is from Turkey. I wouldn't let that be worry you, but I don't know. I have not worked with that particular label. Now, just because it's all from the same country, you have different, different levels, different quality levels. So it just depends. You just have to give it a try, and maybe get a sample and see what you think about that. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to I thank you guys, all of you, for oh, we have Arts A Mimosa de Ros. Buenos dias. Um so glad you could join us, and for your comments. I wanted to read you, I like to try to read you something encouraging, of an inspirational, uh you know, just to encourage you as we go our ways for the week. Incidentally, next week, I'm not 100% I'll be broadcasting. I'm going to try, but remember, I mentioned this last time. I'm going to try to broadcast from Lancaster after my class is done, which means I'm going to have to wait till 1 o'clock. So we're going to bump this for next week to 1 p.m. and I'll be posting about that. But I need to get to the hotel to make sure that the internet is robust enough for me to be able to do that there. Okay, so definitely stay tuned, and I'll communicate with you on that. But yesterday I was listening to this song. It's an old song by one of my favorite musicians. Some of you may be familiar with him. His name is Bob Bennett. Um, and I love that he's one of the most excellent guitarist I've ever heard. And he's a very wonderful songwriter. And I just wanted to read you this the words to the song that he wrote. It's called Small Graces. Sometimes they slip by without notice. Sometimes they're very hard to see. Other times it's also clear when they're happening to me. Excuse me. Bright penny on the sidewalk. Can't buy nothing by itself. But when I hold it in my hands, it's a tiny piece of priceless wealth. These are the small graces, the little moments when the miracles come. These are the small graces leading me to the larger ones. A smile that is not automatic, that lingers on a little more than the time it takes to count my change, the time it takes to close the drawer. Small graces surely have a meaning beyond their merely passing by. They are a reminder to the heart there's more to life than meets the eye, more to life than meets the eye. Cheerful greetings unexpected, shared by strangers on the run. For when the sky is clouded over, still the promise of the sun is in the small graces, the little moments when the miracles come. These are the small graces pointing me to the larger ones, small graces, little glimpses of the kingdom come. From unexpected places. These are the small graces. And I would certainly include all of you in this. It's definitely, but I would say much more than a small grace. It's a significant grace in my life. So thank you so much for being here today, for your support, just for your kind comments, for your encouragement to the other people in the chat, your prayers for my daughters. You guys are great. Love you so much, and looking forward to meeting some of you next week in Lancaster. And again, remember, next week it's going to be delayed to 1 p.m. Eastern time if we can pull it off. So God bless. Bye-bye.